All right, so here is my journey. Whew. I noticed I got a couple more subscribers recently, so I just want everybody to know exactly where I stand. So if you're watching, if you watch some videos that come up, uh, I want you to understand in no uncertain terms where I stand. Um, And, if you get pissed off and feel like you need to not watch anything I make because of that, because you're that petty, then, whatever. Mm. Also, I wanted to say, um, I will be wearing like the same shirt sometimes for like days on end because, one, I'm scrubby like that, but also two, it is getting hotter. So when I'm not filming myself talking, I do go in between, well, shirtless, uh, just in my boxers. And as it gets hotter and hotter, well, I will be wearing my glasses all the time. So let's just leave it at that. And I don't know YouTube's policy on you gotta not be shirtless. So I'm just gonna wear a shirt. Plus, I don't look good not wearing a shirt. So you don't want to see this. So back to my story, my truth. Uh, Yesterday, today, I wanted to go talk to people at City Hall about the hospital business, and because I wanted to talk to somebody on the board of the hospital to get more information about what the deal with that is. And fast forward to the end of all of this, I couldn't. The person there that I talked to was like, maybe you should go and talk to the clinic at the hospital because they're still functioning and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, whatever. I didn't know that was open, so okay, I guess it is. I'll go there, see if I can figure out some info there. If that doesn't work out, then I'll go back to City Hall eventually. But to the meat of the what I wanted to get off my chest here. When I went there, there was a vote here, vote aquí, because there's always Spanish. Um, and they were having the runoff election thing, which I thought was on May 26th, but apparently they're having early voting. So I never really understood how early voting takes place, but apparently it goes on for like 2 weeks before every actual election. So before every primary, before every runoff, and before every main election. So there's just a lot of early voting goes on. Because I always just, you know, I was never very busy. So whenever I voted in something, I always had the time to just go and vote day of. So I just did that. I never needed to like research anything. So I went there and I was like, so what's to vote for? And it's like runoff election for attorney general and lieutenant governor was what was being voted for. At least for the Democratic side of the runoff, there was those two, and there was one more for the Republican side. And so I was asking them. The thing that I was interested in was U.S. representative for this district, but apparently maybe that isn't. Maybe I had wrong information. I don't know. But the guy there that was filling me in on this entire process, he was old, but he seemed to. I mean, he was there, and he's a poll worker, and he's old, so man, he's very in on everything, in on the process, and he had this whole story about, you know, the intricacies of the election system and the process and stuff. And so he gave me his whole spiel about how it's weird that you can do all these. Basically, it felt to me like he was like, these are shenanigans that you can do. Like, I don't want to explain the nuances of what he was talking about, but he felt there was like kind of shenanigans that you can do legally, mind you, fully legally. It's the rules that how it's set up. I think it's basically just like, well, it's only a minor meh, and people that do it the way that this guy was talking about was kind of like, that would be something like a uh, a fraction of a percent of the people that were actually voting in primaries and stuff, primaries and primary runoffs. So I don't think it's really most of the time in most elections, it would be a marginal, or it would be a negligible thing. It would be less than a rounding error, I think, most of the time. Unless you wanted to, you would have to essentially organize a group of people into, doing this kind of conspiratorial thing to make some kind of an impact. Anyways. And then it would have to actually be a conspiracy. And then it would be fucked up. But that's neither here nor there. But what I'm really getting into about this is, so I went online to check what I was trying to get info about with the voting thing, with my thing, with this person, Mila Flores, which I didn't know the name of until I actually looked on. And Mila, I think it's pronounced Mila Flores, for the runoff election in District 17. Looking like she's probably going to be the Democratic candidate going up against Pete Sessions. Because I thought, from all the research I did, Pete Sessions is my current representative in the U.S. House of Representatives. And when I tried to talk to this guy about that runoff election, he seemed to have no idea what I was talking about. Now, I didn't have the name of any of these people, but it wasn't even on the Democratic thing. There wasn't any runoff election for a Democratic nominee for House of Representatives for the federal government. And I'm like, that's weird. What's going on? So that guy had no idea. And then I look online and I look at the county maps that were voting, the counties that were voting there, that voted for this, for District 17. And the way District 17 is drawn, Trinity is in District 17. And then the counties that voted, Trinity County is not in any of those. So it's like the information is not matching. And so then I go and I look, and it's like at another site, at another where do I vote? Who's my representative? All that stuff. And I get the same map for my district. It looks the same wonky ass garbage. I'm like, okay, that matches what's supposed to be having Trinity in there. And I look at a third one, and it's like, okay, that's there. And then I pull up another one, and it's like type in your zip code or address. So this time I type in my address, not my zip code, and it brings it. Okay, it's like, here it is, and it's got a map picture, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's obviously where I am. Here's your representatives and stuff, and it's a bunch of people from California, and I'm like, okay, that's completely wrong. You're bringing up people that aren't even in the correct state. So, and you know that I'm in Texas because you auto-filled the rest of it, the rest of the line, and you have it on the right map. So what is this doing? This site is like completely wrong. So I'm just like, how are people these days that are like, how are new generations of kids that are like just coming into the voting process, whose only experience with stuff is on the computer online, supposed to be like, all right, I'm just turning 18, I'm ready to participate in the democratic process. Supposed to be like, this is where I go, this is who I'm supposed to be deciding on. Like they're online, they're getting their information, they're like, okay, this is what I want to vote for, and then go to where they're voting for, and all of a sudden their people aren't even on the ballot. Like, and then they're going to be like, what is going on here? Where's my peeps? These are, this is somebody I know nothing about. Like, why? Like, yeah, it might be, if you're voting Republican or Democrat, it's like, yeah, they might be a Republican or Democrat. It might be the right D or R, but this is not my guy. Why is this not the person that I've heard about? And if they go day of, they're going to be like, what is going on here? So, yeah, they say it's 7. The guy was saying it's 7-7. So, now that I've done a little more research, I think I'm going to have to go back there tomorrow or the next day or something. Because, I got a little time. I got all of this week 7-7, and Tuesday 7-7, because they're off Monday for some holiday. To go back there and be like, what up? What is up with stuff? And I can bring my phone this time, because I didn't have my phone before, because I don't really roll with my phone everywhere because reasons. And it'd be like, is this because of Texas redistricting that all this information is messed up? Did they already do that? Like, I thought if it was going to happen in Texas, this redistricting, it wasn't done yet. I thought it was still in process, but maybe they already did it. I don't know, because I thought this stuff was like still being challenged. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe it has fully gone through and blah blah blah. I don't know. I just hear too much gobbledygook garbage, and this is why I say. This is why I say I like my idea. Okay, we're gonna have 50 representatives, 50 U.S. representatives for this state. Why don't we just all cast votes and the top 50 guys, the guys with the top, with they get to vote. And it's like, oh, well, I don't have my own representative for my own district. When do you talk to your representative? When do you talk to your federal representative? When do any of you talk to you? Oh, you know who talks to him? That dork from high school who was in that class president thing. That's the guy that talks to him. All of the 999,999 rest of us never do. We never do. So, it doesn't really matter for almost all of us. Never talk to him. We just want to cast our vote for some guy that looks like a decent, normal person and be like, that's my guy. That's my guy. The guy that, looks good. And all these other people that be like, I want to be able to contact my, fuck it. And we can make districts, and people will be like, well, you wanted to be a representative, you're going to represent that district. And you know what? Your job is representing. You represent, G. So go there and represent. Maybe you'll get assigned to a place that you did not want to represent. Maybe you're a little too white for that area. Oops. How do you like government service now? Wouldn't that be great? That'll equalize things. The whitest white person gets to be the representative for like the hood area, and the blackest gangsta brother is a representative for like, upstate New York with the rich neighborhood under my system. Like just a gangsta brother tatted up to crap, smoking joints and stuff. I'm like, all right, so what we be doing here? Man, your houses are lit. It's the shit. Which one of y'all be hosing me? Housing me with the hose. You gonna hit this? You gonna hit this? You gonna hit this? Well, that's just my 9. Don't worry. It ain't fire anymore. We good. We good. You don't need to call Popo. Any other white dude in the hood going to his job with a nice business suit, and he learns kind of quick. You better get some dreads, brother. You're gonna have to blend a little better. Have to get yourself a nice Texas tan. All right? Work out those muscles a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Get yourself a grill. Update your playlist on your iPod. Freshen up your gangster rap playlist. Which one is better? Is it Drake? I don't know. What was he saying there? Can't quite make out the lyrics. The flows. Anyways, whatever. Okay, so you know, drill, tax the rich, you get rich. The universe, tax wealth, not work, and boobularians. One last look at the t-shirt. One last look at the t-shirt, yes. Hit the space bar to pause if you want a full read. Do 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 do. And boo.